Good morning. I've been getting some messages from people asking what an IEP is, and I'm pretty sure I have explained this a few times. I usually am pretty good about giving the whole, IEP or any of the things that I'm talking about, the whole name and then the initials, but maybe I didn't at this point, so let's just go over it. So an IEP is called Initial Enrollment Period. What is an initial enrollment period? It is when you have a chance to sign up for Medicare for the first time when you're turning 65. That window starts 3 months before your birthday month, the month of your birthday, and then 3 months after. It is a 7-month period. Now, if you are on Social Security Disability, SSDI, if you are on regular Social Security and you took it early before your full retirement age, or you're an SSI, which is Social Security Insurance, you will automatically get your Part A and your Part B, okay? Automatically. You don't have to worry about it. They will usually send you your Medicare card probably about 1 to 2 months before your actual birthday month. So you'll have it for the month that your birthday is, and it will start on the 1st. Medicare always starts on the 1st of the month, whatever month it is, okay? Now, if you are not on those Social Security programs and you have to apply for it, you are going to apply for it at ssa.gov, Social Security Administration.gov, ssa.gov. If you have saying to me, Lori, you know what, I don't really need to be on it, I have coverage through my employer, then that's great. That is called credible coverage. As long as it is with an employer with 20 or more employees, that is considered credible coverage, and you can bypass Part B for the time being. That is also if you are covered on your own insurance or a spouse's insurance. As long as the coverage has got 20 or more employees, then you're good to go. You can bypass Part B. There's no reason, if you have good health insurance through your employer or spouse's employer, that you should be paying for Part B. I honestly, if it was me, and I recommend my clients to do that, is to hold off on Part B if I have credible coverage. What is not credible coverage? Credible coverage that is not credible would be, coverage that is not credible would be ACA or Affordable Care Act, COBRA, any of these Christian share programs. Those are not, a short-term medical also. Those are not credible coverage. So those would actually, you can have them, but you 100% won't get any, you'll get a fine with Medicare for having them because they're not considered credible coverage with Medicare. I'm just a messenger, just letting you know. So if you have credible coverage, you can bypass Part B. If you decide to bypass Part B because you have credible coverage, then when you decide to come off of your credible coverage and go into the Medicare world, there is a form that you're going to fill out and you're going to send to the HR department, either of your HR department or your spouse's HR department, and then they are going to fill it out. And then you're going to submit it with your Part B application to Medicare. And that basically tells the government, Mr. Joe had credible coverage until this date, so he's not going to get a fine because he's had this credible coverage. And then they will bypass it. Here's what I'm going to say about that. We all know how the government runs, and I'm not going to get political about this, but I always tell everybody, make sure you take a copy of that form and keep it for yourself. Make sure you make a copy of that you've mailed it or faxed it or emailed it in, and it's time-stamped and dated, and you have all that information. So that way when they come back to you and say, oh, you're going to get a fine for not having credible coverage, you can say, nope, this is what I submitted. And then it clears it up. It happens. I don't know why it happens, but it does every once in a while. So I'm just warning you right now that is a possibility. Don't freak out, because it's honestly, it's very, very easy to clear up as long as you have copies of those things. So keep good records. If you guys have any questions about IEP or Initial Enrollment Period, same thing. That's just what they're called. Please put them in the comments and we will address them. I'm going to say this too. If you are a veteran and you are using the VA, now I'm not talking about TRICARE, I'm talking about just using the VA. You've worked, for the military under 20 years and do not get TRICARE for life. If you use VA benefits, I am strongly going to encourage you to get Part A and Part B. And the VA does also. There's a lot of reasons why you would want it. there's sometimes you're going to be in a place where there's no VA close enough near you, or a VA hospital, and so you need to have access to health care. There's other reasons why too. When you're a veteran and you use the VA and you have Medicare, in some instances, in some places, you can get a Medicare Advantage plan, also known as a Medicare or MAPD or a Part C, and you can have your Part B premium reduced. Sometimes it depends if it's offered in your area. You can get extra benefits like over-the-counter transportation, in some instances food benefits. So there's a lot of reasons why you would want to have Medicare Part A and Part B. And here's the other reason why too. If you decide that you want to get Part B 15, 20 years down the road, and then all of a sudden you're going to be hit with a massive fine. So we want to avoid the fines, okay? And I'll do another video later on about the fines so everybody understands them, but they can be pricey. All right, so if you guys have any questions about IEP, or also known as Initial Enrollment Period, put them in the comments and we'll address them. You guys have a great Sunday. Bye.